What up, guys? Welcome back to Something on Sports. I'm your host, Something. I'm here today with my co-host, Mr. Non-Bias himself. Ricky, say what's up to the people.
What's going on, people? Raw and uncut.
Pause. So today we're gonna go ahead and jump on this train, this hot topic about Caitlin Clark, and was Caitlin Clark snubbed from Team USA? Ricky, what are your thoughts? Do you think that Caitlin Clark was indeed snubbed?
I hate this whole entire argument. First of all, Caitlin Clark is not even rated as the top rookie in her class. I understand that she has been the number one. She is the number one pick in the draft, but come on, people. Nobody's saying anything about any other people, anybody else. They ain't saying anything about Sabrina. They ain't saying anything about Angel. They're not saying anything about Cordoza. Of course, Cordoza just got back, but still, man, so give me a little bit more than just her name is Caitlin Clark. I mean, she's not better than any of those 12 people that they picked for the USA team. I think that she needs to next Olympics though, she's gonna be the headliner for sure. You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna be she's not gonna be snubbed the next one, but her time will come, man. Just let her do her thing, man, and then her time will come. But right now, no sirree. She should not be on the Olympic team. I mean, they got Sabrina. She just went head to head with Steph Curry in the 3-point contest last year.
Right.
So and then she's shooting a little better from the field than Caitlin Clark. So I don't understand the argument, man. It's just because of the name. I can see people talking about it because they saying that her name alone is just gonna bring views to the sport. But outside of that, man, she shouldn't be on that team.
Right. I would agree with you because as we look here at the list of names, we have Kalia Copper, we got Chelsea Gray, we got Brittany Griner, we got
Copper
Sabrina.
just had an amazing game the other night.
Right.
You saw?
No, I did not. I hold on. Is that when she had like 27 or something like that?
No, I think she had 30.
Maybe I'm thinking of I don't know. But we got Sabrina Ionescu, we got Jewel Lloyd, we got Kelsey Plum, we got Stewie, Brianna Stewart, we got Diana Taurasi. Now here's the one debate on which everybody is going to come at, and it's, well, is she a better player today than Diana Taurasi? But Diana Taurasi,
no, she's not.
It's debatable based off the stats and the numbers. But let me cook. So that is debatable. If you look at their shooting percentages and if you look how Diana's playing this year, that's debatable. But Diana Taurasi's been the face of women's basketball for the last 2 decades. And like a lot of people who are just now getting into watching college basketball or women's basketball in general, don't understand how dope Diana Taurasi is and what she's done. Like, she won 3 national championships in college with 3 different starting rosters. So she came in with the killer roster with Sue Bird and everything. Sue Bird left when, after her sophomore year, after Diana's sophomore year, and Diana takes 2 teams to national championships that turned over the starting lineup on both those rosters. Then she's come into the WNBA. She's got 3 championships. She's got 7 EuroLeague championships. She's been on 5 different Olympic teams. So this is for the record 6. I believe that she's done so much for the sport that she's earned her spot. So whether we want to talk about who's better or not today, I think it's more than just who's better or not today. It's what's your contribution. And then the rest of the players, Alyssa Thomas, AJ Wilson, and Jackie Young, she's not better than any of those players. So I don't see where we can put her on this roster just because her fan base wants her on the roster. It's not fair to the rest of these women who've been playing.
That's exactly what it is, a fan base. Back to your Diana Taurasi, I say she's not better than DT yet, just because the smarts, man. Like, she's very educated in the game of basketball. I mean, as long as she's been playing, I mean, she said in the beginning of the season she's gonna struggle. I mean, right. Shooting in the 30% and from the field and 30% from the 3.
I think Caitlin's shooting 41 from the field. Diana's only shooting like
37. I think 37 if I'm not mistaken.
Well, let me look real quick. Go ahead.
But yeah, on Kalia Cooper, she had 29 the other night, and she had made the game-winning jump shot, something like that. I remember, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, so you are right. It's dropped a little more. So she's shooting 37% from the field. Let's see what And Tarasi's probably shooting about the same right now too. Yeah, she's shooting 37% from the field too. She's just not playing that efficient this year, but she's 41 years old. So I mean, at some point,
exactly.
Father Time is going to take over. So
Caitlin, she averages 6.3 assists, but she also averages 5.8 turnovers a game.
Right.
So
that's
you're getting less than an assist a game out of her every game. So again, man, that comes with the smartness, with the mentals, with the repetition. The game gonna slow down for her. Right now. It's kind of a little too fast. It's only 12 games in the season right now. They only won 2, I think. 1. So
well, see, here's what gets me frustrated. Let's take this conversation a little bit left for a little bit. So, this has been the last couple of weeks have been a wild couple of weeks. Like when we're talking about Caitlyn and about really her fan base crying about heart fouls and stuff like that. And then it's like when she gets fouled hard, everybody's like, oh, that person should have got a flagrant or a technical. But then when Angel Reese gets clotheslined, the same exact fan base is like, oh, she deserved it.
Because she talked trash.
Right. But what's jacked up is that Caitlyn's fan base are typically people that like Larry Bird. Larry Bird talked more trash than anybody else in the history of basketball. So it's one of those things where you have to look at it. And I hate to be like, oh, is it a race thing or this and that? But if you're okay with your hero talking all the trash in the world, but then when another player is talking trash, it's something a little bigger that we have to look at. You can't hate on one person for talking.
And always turn back to race. I mean, that's what they said when the whole Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark thing debacle happened, when it was happened in the finals 2 years ago, going on 3 years ago. So they tried to make it. Now they tried to make it the Michael Jordan, Larry Bird rivalry for the WNBA. Media messing it up. It still can be a nice little rivalry coming, but a lot of people, they are messing up the WNBA. They're not making that game organic at all. They're trying to force likes on certain players, and it's not cool. You know what I'm saying? I like basketball. I like sports, period. So what they're doing to the game is not, I don't think it's sexy at all.
Well, I think this is the problem. The biggest issue is they don't know how to manage a situation, because I've seen when we talk about the media and we go a little bit further, I think what's wild to me is how, like, the Monica McNutt situation last week was out of control. So I don't understand how you can get on a Stephen A's platform, and he has been talking about women's basketball for the last couple years, at least. We've been talking about Angel on First Take. They've been talking about Caitlyn. They've been talking about women's basketball a little bit more. But you can't be mad at this nigga for 3 years ago when nobody wanted to talk about it. You can't be mad at somebody for not killing their ratings. Like, what do I look like? We're talking about the Lakers, then we go into the Cowboys, and now we're talking about the WNBA, and everybody tunes out. You know what I'm saying? Now your ratings drop from 125,000 people to 15,000 people. So it's not even.
But what Monica was saying, honestly, I agree with her, man. She came at Steven the most polite way possible, but she ate his neck up for real. She definitely told the truth. I mean, he could have been speaking on. Man, think about what Maya Moore was doing back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
think about Candace Parker was the MVP.
But we're missing the most important part. You're missing the most important part, and it's the same thing that Monica missed. If people don't want to watch the shit and they're going to tune out, then you can't just talk about it, because you have sponsors, you have other people who put money behind this channel, and they're putting the money behind the channel because of the amount of viewers that you get. So if you're not meeting those amount of viewers, the sponsors don't want you to talk about that shit. It's bigger than just Stephen A.
Guess what? Stephen A. has his own podcast, my guy. Stephen A. has his own podcast that he talks about sports, talks about any other thing in the world outside of the NBA. Right. He could have brought that up on his podcast.
But he has talked about women's basketball on his podcast
recently.
But his podcast is only like a year old, bro. So in the last year, he has been talking about this woman stuff. There's a ton of
everybody been talking about it the last year,
right?
Everybody's been talking about it last year.
If that's the case, we can't talk about, well, he wasn't talking about it before because his podcast has only been out for a year. So he's been talking about it since he's been talking about it.
High platform.
He's been talking about it since the start of his podcast. So we have to get that notion out of there. So he has been doing that. And then 3 years ago, nobody was caring about the WNBA. It was only people like me who were watching the college basketball, the WNBA. People like me who know about it. But your average person don't know about the WNBA, and your average person didn't care about it. I mean, it's bad.
how did this happen? Tell me, how did this happen? How did people start watching the WNBA or watching sports, the women's sports?
For multiples of reason. Obviously, it's more than just Caitlin and Angel. It's about that time. And so, like, if you look at every other sports league that's ever existed, it's taken 30 to 40 years for it to become mainstream. Now, within that time, because you have to find your fan base, and just because basketball exists doesn't mean that basketball fans all want to watch WNBA, or it doesn't mean that people who don't like basketball might actually like the WNBA more than NBA. So you have to find your fan base. And Angel and Caitlin did a great job of spotlighting this sport at a time when it's supposed to. At a time, it is that did happen at a time when the sport was supposed to take off.
Bro, you are wrong. Angela Reese and Caitlin Clark ain't did nothing different than any of these ladies that's already been through there, bro. The media picked up this great white hype and ran with it, bro.
That's not even necessarily how it went, because if you remember how it went, bro. No, it's not. Because I watched this shit, right? And again, I will challenge you.
Past 4 years,
I'll challenge you to this, right? Jay, even though we don't talk no more, you can ask him, before anybody was talking about Caitlin and Angel, who was sitting on the fucking couch in the apartment watching fucking LSU and Iowa. So I watched the beginning of that whole chain, because Angel started becoming super popular. And so by the time they played each other, everybody was fucking with LSU. Angel's fucking her junior year. Everybody was messing with LSU. They were a very popular team. The ratings were blowing up. So then when it got to the point where Caitlin was going off and they just met each other, that's why that was like the highest rated women's basketball game of all time, was because they had two big fan bases that were already being built throughout the season, that it all finally came to a head. And now we got that
last year, bro. And then we got South Carolina. Clark ended up beating South Carolina and all that stuff.
Right. So, but what I'm trying to get at is, when they finally met up and they played in that national championship game, it gave us that Larry Bird and that Magic Johnson feel. And so, granted, they had another year and they ended up playing each other again, which became the second highest rated game of all time. It's because of those girls is why all the extra eyes are on all this stuff. But it's at the same time as the league is supposed to start taking off, and it's supposed to take the next step, because you're in year 35, year 40. That's just how professional sports leagues work all throughout history, all throughout time.
I just disagree with 1,000%. People picked up, like, the girls just started shooting from half court, and people picked that up and started liking it. Media decided to pick it up. She's the new Steph Curry, even though they had like Paige Beckers. If Paige Beckers wouldn't have got hurt,
right,
I don't think Caitlin Clark will have the platform she has right now.
I think that
Paige Beckers, they came out. They was in the same year. Paige Beckers was the #1 player in that class.
Right, she was
if
college.
If she wouldn't have got
player of the year.
I knew about Paige Beckers before I knew about Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, I knew about them both at the same time, because
I caught on to Caitlin Clark later after Paige Beckers.
I've been watching them too since they were in high school, because they had all kinds of mixtapes out and just all kinds of. I remember I watched this one game where Paige went somewhere and the whole crowd is talking trash the whole game, and Paige lights them up. And then at the end, she hits like a game-winning shot, you know what I'm saying? And then like walks off you know what I'm saying? And she, walks off the court and she silences the whole entire stadium. This is like
my daughter is 11 years old. She don't know anything about sports, and she know about Paige Beckers.
Yeah,
because they big on TikTok too, though. Paige Beckers big on TikTok.
I won't take anything away from Caitlin Clark, though, because again, I'm
not taking nothing away from that young lady. She's very, very much talented. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm hating her.
Not what I'm trying to say is, I don't agree with that. I think that even if Paige was at her height, I think that Caitlin would still be getting all the props that she's getting. She might have been the first pick. She might have been the second pick. I'm not here to. I think that I like Paige's game better, but I'm not going to sit up here and be like, one's better than the other. It just depends on who's drafting. Like the Indiana Fever might draft Caitlin Clark because she still fits their team better. She's like a Midwestern girl, you know what I'm saying? So she's going to fit in the values and everything that they have going on in Indiana. So that might be good for them, opposed to Paige. She's a lesbian. She's a little more flaunty with her style and stuff like that. So
she's big on like social media, TikTok, and all
that. Yeah. So she might not be the perfect fit in Indiana, but if she goes to like Las Vegas or LA or New York or whatever, and she's killing it. Now, obviously, if they get the opportunity to draft Paige this offseason they're going to draft Paige because you don't pass on Paige. But
Right.
I just don't. I'm a huge Paige fan, but I just don't know if I think that Caitlyn's.
No, I'm just saying. I didn't say that I was 100% sure. I said possible. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, Paige Beckers is a monster. Caitlyn is a monster. Right? Like I said, I ain't want to take nothing from her, but she still has a lot of learning to do in WN. Like people came in there and like thought that she was just gonna come over there and just start dropping 30 balls. It ain't that easy, bro. Like them girls coming out and like she got a target on the back. Unfortunately, them girls are after her because what people have done. They like all right, she cool, but I'm cool too.
But here's
let me show you.
Here's where the fans need to like use common sense, man. We've been watching sports our whole lives, most of us, right? And we know that when rookies come into the league, rookie hazing still exists for anybody out there who's like, right. But I'm saying their own teammates haze them, right? So if their teammates make you carry bags and go get food and do all this shit, all this other shit, right? Would you expect the other team's vets to like let your rookies walk all over them? You know what I'm saying? Like you don't even let your rookies get off. You haze your rookies. You think that
like they gonna let you doggone
walk all over them?
Sports Center.
Nah, you're not gonna put me on Sports Center. Not gonna happen. You know. I mean, look at why when Blake Griffin was a rookie and he was getting hard fouled all the time because didn't nobody want to get dunked on like that, you know? Or Steven Jackson has come out and he was talking about how when LeBron James was a rookie, LeBron James tried to dunk on him one time all extra hard. He just grabbed him and slammed him on the ground and was like, nah, rookie, you're not doing that shit to me, you know?
Man, I don't believe that. Unless he got proof. I don't believe nothing Steven Jackson said.
There's proof. There's proof.
I know, it was a hard, and then, that's he's one of the ones I don't really like listening to talk. Yeah. And that's my homeboy, like first cousin. Like that's my homie, first cousin. I don't like to hear him talk on media, bro, because he think he's higher than he is. He's another Paul Pierce to me.
Right. I also think that we can't forget about Michael Jordan getting froze out of the All-Star game as a rookie. You know, we can't forget about Matt Barnes talking about how he was all rough when Kevin Durant the first time he played Seattle because he was like, "You're not getting off of me, rookie." So these are actual athletes who actually played the game, telling us how they treated the next level of All-Star and superstar.
But they'll turn around and also some of them will turn around and say, they shouldn't be that to her. They shouldn't do that to her. That's their meal ticket. That's this. That's not what none of the people I'm naming are saying that. I would agree that a lot of media is saying that. Some are saying that though.
Well, not Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, and that's what I'm.
Oh no, them guys, they hardcore.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. But you know, you got players who've been in these same positions, just not in women's basketball, but in men's basketball, telling you this is the game. But once she figures this shit out, and once she gets tough enough. They can't, you know what I'm saying? Talent's gonna. It
sounds crazy me saying this. She gonna have to hit the weight room. She'll definitely have to hit that weight room. Boy.
Yeah, she gonna have to hit that weight
room, boy.
Yeah, man, she gonna hit that weight room.
Like nobody saying anything about Aaliyah Boston making it. You know what I'm saying? She's her teammate. So it ain't like they just talk like it's not like they're just keeping her off because they're losing because Aaliyah there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's other players that's just better than her right now.
And Aaliyah
still has a lot to learn.
Aaliyah was in the last 15, I believe. So because you know, obviously she was player of the year, her, you know, last year at South Carolina.
And she was number one pick, all that good stuff.
Right. I feel like I don't know. I was talking to somebody about this on Facebook. I was in some argument, some debate, and I felt like Indiana Fever could be so much better, but the coach just doesn't run the right plays, bro. Your pick and roll with Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark should be crazy, bro.
But I'm saying, bro, a pick and roll between Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston all game long would be nasty. There's no team that can stop that. And even though they're young, there's no team that's stopping a pick and roll with Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark, and they just don't run a lot of pick and rolls with those two. But you have these two offensive beasts who could just get off with each other. I know part of that's because there's only 2 weeks in between college and, you know, the preseason and the start of the season, and they don't get to necessarily practice the most, but I wish they could figure that out. And then here's another thing that I want to mention. Like, what's frustrating is like a bunch of grown men out here in this social media place, like ignoring everything and just y'all, these are 22-year-old women. You know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas need to stop. Like, I hate when I see shit like when I see niggas in these comment sections saying shit like, I can't wait until next year when the attendance goes back down to 50 or 60 people. And I'm like, bro, why would you even, you hate women so much that you can get on the internet and say, I wish that their sports weren't successful because I
You
don't
ain't
want
want to
my
see that.
daughter to have an opportunity to do
Like
whatever
it's
it is that she can do
pure
in her
hate,
life. What's that?
pure hate.
That is pure hate, bro. And it's like,
Pure hate.
there'd be 8,000 people at these games. And it's like the same people who are talking shit about, oh, there's nobody at these games, couldn't get nobody to come over to their house for a fucking football party. You know what I'm saying? And they're talking shit about these girls who got 8,000, 9,000 people coming out to see them. So, dudes, y'all got to stop that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, let these women have their space. Let's cheer for them. Let's, you know, what if your daughter wanted to play in the WNBA and the shit didn't exist, you know?
Yeah, that's just ridiculous, man. I don't like how another thing that pisses me off in the comment section in these internet posts. So if any of y'all doing it, it's gonna be in the comments. Please stop telling grown men that they're looking at these young women as like a sex toy or something. Like you're saying that because you want to bag Angel Reese or you want to do this to blah blah blah, bro. Y'all sound stupid, bro. If you're on the sports debate page, let's keep it sports. Let's not take it. Not take it sexual. Bro. That's stupid as hell.
I'm with that, but I will say one thing. This might get me canceled, Ricky. I think that the WNBA,
nothing.
right. Go from some to nothing. I think that the WNBA should lean into the beauty of some of the players, though. And
no,
I'm not.
I get that. That's because some players are beautiful young ladies,
right? Because if you think about it, if you think about it, for guys, a guy's superpower is going to be the fact that we're athletic and you know what I'm saying, we can jump higher and dunk and we're stronger and physical, where the strength of a woman's always going to be, you know, their womanness, their prettiness, all that other stuff. So if you add that to the game, I don't want to make it to where dudes are over, you know, sexualizing these women, but bro, you know how many more eyes you're going to get just because, you know, you got pretty girls playing basketball.
I mean, I don't like that. You gonna water down the sport because a lot of pretty girls they trying to be models. They not trying to play ball. So don't take that wrong because I love Candace Parker. That's my girlfriend that she don't know about.
Yeah, I'm not saying water the league down. I'm saying we want the right talent. But a lot of these girls, I think they get it now because they get that. Oh, if I make myself look good, I can get more endorsements and I can do all this other stuff.
Of course, they should do that regardless.
But with that being said, though, I need to say this: it's not okay to be attacking these women either because we think that they're not the most attractive or whatever either. If they don't feel like dressing up, they don't have to dress up. You know,
that's why I say it's a sport. You should play it. You should play sports.
Yeah, like I don't want to see. I hate that Antonio Brown made that post about Caitlin Clark. I think that's foul. Every time you go into a comment section and they got pictures of her with, you know, whatever the fuck's up there, I think that's jacked up. So
yeah,
grown ass men, we need to cut that out. Especially a lot of you grown ass men who are overweight, bald, you know what I'm saying, and you look like shit, and you got the audacity to get on the internet and talk about this young woman who's in better shape than you are. You know, get your ass off the couch and take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying, before you're worried about these women out here.
Yeah, it's super annoying, but I really do appreciate what the league is doing with women's basketball right now. Not the hugest fan of the W, but like this college, I've been watching that for the past 4, 5 years. Honestly, like strong. I always like kept an eye on the game, but UConn was so dominant. It really wasn't no purpose. You just know that they was gonna win. But now it's a lot. Man, I love the NIL. People don't realize how much I love the NIL. It makes so much parity in the college sports, man. And I just hope they don't F this up by trying to take these kids' money.
Well, they passed a law now where the colleges can actually pay the kids. Yeah, I don't know if I think that. I don't know if I think that, and I think NIL. I don't know if I think that it balances out the power in sports, but I think it's
balanced. I think that actually on the Senate right back to where it was at.
I know. I think that it doesn't balance out the sports because the richest schools are still going to be the ones that are going to be able to get the most money, or like teams like Texas. After time, Texas and Texas A&M are going to be killing these athletes because they're the richest schools. They have the most donors. So, but I do think that it makes it to where Alabama can't get every 5-star recruit. So maybe if that's what you mean by spreading out the talent a little bit, now, you know, Georgia's always going to be good because of where it's at. But, you know, there's just teams that couldn't get 5-star athletes because they couldn't pay players like Florida States and shit like that. Now they're going to be able to get some of these athletes too. So
I think this is going to take it back to Hope not. I think it's gonna take it back to have the dominant teams. I think it's gonna remove the parity away from it because like you just said, those schools can pay a little more money. You're not gonna get the Travis Hunters and all that stuff going to the HBCUs because they are not gonna be able to get paid. You know what I'm saying? By endorsement. I mean, they could, but it'll be a lot more enticing to go to Texas where the donor's gonna get paid you. The NIL gonna pay you, you know what I'm saying? You just gonna get money like that. So maybe Texas football might come back down, but I wonder how much they're gonna do. I wonder how are they gonna regulate that? How are they gonna regulate that?
Yeah, I didn't read the whole article. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just seen it. It came up.
I thought they just passed it. I don't think they put out any details on it, have they?
I don't know.
All I know is that what you just said, the donors can the schools can pay by using their donors type thing. Pay all students. So
pay all students or all student athletes.
Yeah, student athletes.
I wonder how they're going to break that down though. And then I wonder if it's going to get to the point of where some sports departments are going to get mad because they're not getting paid as much as the football and the basketball players. Because you know how people are ignorant. Well, we're athletes and we work hard too. Yeah, but there's 5 people in the stadium at your wrestling match. You know what I'm saying? like these niggas got 100,000 people in the stands. You are not the same athlete. You know what I'm saying? You may be more athletic, less athletic, but y'all are not the same value. You know,
they not like us.
Right? They not like us. They not like us. Oh man. So the last thing I wanted to mention on this topic though with Caitlyn to get back here is I need a lot of y'all to realize too, because everybody's talking about how she's breaking all these records and she's doing all this historic stuff. But when we look at the rankings of the rookies so far, she's the 6th ranked rookie. So she's not even having the best rookie season. She'll probably win rookie of the year for obvious reasons. But right now, we'll see. I mean, they'll probably give it to Caitlyn because it'll be a World War III if she doesn't win it. But just like LeBron, when Carmelo should have won it, but they gave it to LeBron anyway.
I still, him or D Wade should. Well, D Wade.
No, Carmelo should have won it. That nigga he turned the Nuggets around 19, 20 games and took them to the playoffs. They should have won that. He should have won that.
They had better numbers.
With that, better average. But so when we look at the top 6 rookies right now, Cameron Brink's the number 1 rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Angel Reese is the number 2 rookie. You know what I'm saying? Which a lot of people are hating, talking about, she ain't playing that great. Well, she's the 2nd rated rookie right now. And then you got Kate Martin, number 18. You got Rakia Jackson at number 4, and then Julie Van Loo at number 5. And so Clark is 6th. But
and the reason making a presence on defense though, she's very she ain't coming down there and just getting no easy buckets on Reese. And she working on her offense. She gonna be a dog.
Right.
She gonna have a couple MVPs coming her way.
Yo, and that's why I honestly think that this rivalry can become the Bird versus Magic a little bit different because they won't play. Well, I guess depending on what their records are and everything, because the WNBA isn't seeded by East and West. It's just the top 8 teams make the playoffs, but they're in the same division. So they're going to play each other 3 times a year, 3-4 times a year, because, Chicago, Indiana, same division. So I can see this becoming a super heated rivalry over time because they're just going to play each other so much,
Kennedy Carter, she's so hilarious to me, man. but she can hoop though. People don't even realize they talk trash. Well, she was a top 5 pick in the draft.
Yeah, I'm not even mad at her. I'm not even mad at nothing that happened in any of those exchanges because it was when you watch it, because Kennedy Carter is the one that hit her when she was coming down court and she smacked her, right? When she was because Caitlyn hits the shot and you got a defender on you, and then you turn around and boom, she kind of smacked her. So the girl kind of hit her. It's kind of really fast, you know what I'm saying? But as Caitlyn's coming down, she comes like this, and then she bumps the girl's head. So then the girl I don't want to say it was a punch, but she threw her hand and kind of pushed her away. And then that's when everything got all out, when Caitlyn got up in there and was like, well, whatever. And then Aaliyah came and broke it up. But it wasn't like Caitlyn was all the way innocent in that shit, man. You hit a shot in my face, you talk shit, and you hit me in the face, I might be liable to push you out of my face. They
upgraded her that foul to a flagrant.
That's so stupid.
Yeah. Well, the one that she hit her on when she knocked her down.
That was such a flop too, bro. That was such a flop. Yo, if that was LeBron James who did that shit, because you're talking about when she had her back to the girl and the girl was, that was such a flop. I could see a foul or whatever. I mean, a flagrant for that though,
they gave a flagrant.
Bro, that was
they didn't give it to in the game. They upgraded after the game.
That was bullshit. That's what that was. Yeah. That was some bullshit.
But Caitlin Clark, keep doing your thing. If you ever watch our podcast, I'm rooting for you.
Yeah, we're rooting for you. So I want to make sure I put that out there too, because there's going to be times where I'm going to be critical.
But I'm Mr. Non-biased. I'm tell you the truth.
But it's not. I can't say this enough, because again, I get into these groups and I be arguing with people. I've been watching Caitlin Clark play basketball for like 6 years now, bro. So I have to I have to rock with her if I'm literally going out of my way to watch her play basketball, you know. So like I'm one of the OG. I'm not even joking. I mean, I was watching her footage when she was in high school and shit. You know what I'm saying? Balling out on them girls. You know, I'm telling you. I mean, I put that on my life. Like I remember, I showed my kids my son, because he was like, girls can't play basketball. I said, oh really? Watch this. I showed my kid videos of Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark like 6 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like 6-7 years ago. So I don't want to make it seem like whenever we do come back and we're critical about the turnovers or the lack of defense, we still see your offensive skill set and we still see how dope you are. We're just I gotta point that out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, but her being on the Olympic team, I mean, it would have been good for the optics. But like if she would have played, all they would have did was talk. I mean, she would have made the team. All they would have did was not play her, because she's not going to get more burn over Sabrina Ionescu or Ionescu. She's not going to get more burn over none of them. So what you going to do? Sit on the bench, and then all the fans then are going to do what? Complain about her sitting on the bench.
Right. So, right. That's all y'all do. That's all y'all do. If y'all get kind of what you want, then you're gonna complain because you didn't get everything that you wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all gonna complain no matter what. We know that.
It's funny to me, man. It's interesting. It's interesting because, like I always say, man, you know, I think media drives everything, marketing, and they fall right into it every time.
Right.
Instead of just looking at it with their eyes, just fall into the biased comments of everybody.
All right, so I think that's what we got though on this episode. We probably drag it out all day, but you know, might as well end on a good note right there. Make sure you guys hit like, subscribe, drop an elbow on that like button, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Comment below, let us know what we got right, what we got wrong, what y'all rocking with, what you're not. What you got for him, Ricky?
Nothing much, man. Stay positive, people.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. We'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace. I hate how I be throwing those balloons up.
Where you get balloons from, bro?
It just be coming up like